Page 7, they call it a coordination study. Now this is an excerpt taken from one of the pieces, one of the exercises in a book called The Virtuoso Pianist in 60 by Hanon. I don't use exercise books, but they're fun to play, and I certainly have it, and I've played them, and they're yeah, go for it. So if you're around where you can get a Hanon book, I recommend it. But as far as training goes, I'm sure you get along without it. Well, let's go just look at what we're doing. It's a pattern, and it kind of goes up the keyboard and down the keyboard, both hands. So in the right hand, just look at the beginning. You're in this position where there's a break between, there's a note between the thumb and the index finger. Going up, but going down there isn't. And that allows us to walk our way up the keyboard. And you just keep going all the way up until you get to the end of the second line. You're up here. Now, when you start the third line, we're going to go down. So now the skipped key is going to be between the 5th finger and the 4th finger. So now you're going to go here. This lets us go back down. Like so, and then we go back down to where we were, sort of. And you end there. It's very repetitious. You can memorize it very quickly. In the left hand, you're doing basically the same thing. Starting down here, this C, see the right hand's here, middle C, you go down 2 octaves for the left hand. And then as you go up, you skip a note. And when you get to the top up there and you start to come down, you're going to skip a note going down. You get the pattern? Put the 2 hands together. The actual exercise of the one in the book is longer than this, so if you want to get that, fine. The only caution I will warn you on if you get the book is do not follow those metronome markings in the book. They are actually, if you're going to do that, professional level, and they are incredibly fast, and it simply isn't necessary. What you got to do is take the speed for you with a metronome if you got one, and then over time you gradually speed it up. So it's here. Now I haven't talked about technique, so I'll mention a little bit and give you a food for thought. You can experiment with this and see what you think. When I'm playing single notes on piano, like this, I don't really use the finger muscles to do it with. I mean, I could keep the wrist very still, and I could just use the finger now. And that used to be the style. Of course, back then when it was the style, the keyboard instruments of that time, the keys went down very easily. They go down much easier than these keys go down. So I need a little more strength now. Now what I actually do is I use the weight of the arm and the hand to help me push these notes down. So what I'm doing is it's more lifting the other fingers up than pushing the note down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my weight, I'm going to start in the right hand, I'm going to put my weight on the thumb. I just drop, and the whole thing is similar to playing a chord, except it's one note. And then when I want to do the E, this one, I'm simply transferring the weight from the thumb over here, and I'm just kind of rolling the hand from finger to finger, and I'm just moving the fingers a little bit so the finger I want is the lowest one to play the note. And that's all. And I also tend to drop the wrist on the beginning of each group of 4/8 notes. So it's like, this isn't written in cut time, so it's 1, 2, 1, 2. This is 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E. So I drop the wrist on each beat. 1 E and a 2 E. But I'm just transferring the weight over. So the fingers actually stay pretty close to the keys. Same thing in the left hand. Takes time though to get used to that. And if you'll do the scale videos like I'm suggesting, where I'm accenting and dropping the wrist, that helps on this. So you decide. If you're going to go real slow, you can drop the wrist on every other eighth note. And put in a little accent if you want. It's up to you. Have fun with it. I don't know that I really need to play this coordination study with you, because it really is just this pattern going up and down. It's no big deal. So I'll let you deal with that.